Topic: A Geography Story. No Man's Land is Already Lost. This is the presentation by Group A. These are the members. This is the outline of the script. 1. An article on no man's land from the Guardian newspaper. 2. Geographic location. 3. Sea level rise. And 4. Flood map. Outline of the script continues with 5. Decrease Arctic ice coverage. 6. Map of the Arctic. 7. Difference between ice and water. And 8. Greenhouse gases. Outline finishes with 9. Greenhouse effect. 10. Conclusion. And 11. Quiz. The article is taken from Trinidad and Tobago Guardian newspaper, Tobago Today, page 14, September the 7th, 2016. We will give you the salient points of the article and relate this to our understanding in geography. The article opens by pitting the impact of the Sandal Resort development at no man's land in Tobago against the threat of rising sea level. Let us look at the map of Tobago. No man's land is a small sandy peninsula on the north of the Bon Accord Lagoon in the region of the Pigeon Point estate of Tobago. It is only accessible by sea as the area is surrounded by mangrove wetland. This is the area for development of the Sandals resorts. The IPCC International Panel on Climate Control predicts a 1 to 3 feet or under 1 meter rise in sea level at the end of the century. Yet others predict a 6 to 10 feet or 2 to 3 meters rise. This is expected to submerge no man's land. Let us look at the flood map model of the impact of sea level rise on the area of no man's land. This map shows that a 2 meter, about 6 feet rise would have a significant effect on submerging no man's land. The hottest years have been from 2013 to 2016, and this upward trend may be related to the rising of CO2 levels. The Arctic is expected to be ice-free in the summer of 2017 or 2018. Ice reflects 50% of the solar radiation compared to water, which only reflects 10%. This map of the Arctic shows the coverage with ice in 1990 and decreased coverage in 2015. It also gives the age of the sea ice, with dark blue being very young, 1 year old, and white being older, 9 years old. This map shows the age of the Arctic ice is also decreasing, suggesting that there is a loss of sea over time. Let us look at the difference of sea and ice in reflecting sunlight or heat. The left side of the diagram shows the surface without snow and ice absorbs more heat with a low percentage of reflection at 10% by the water. The right-hand side of the diagram, by comparison, shows the surface with snow and ice, which absorbs little heat but reflects more heat. Thus, ice or snow is better than water at reflecting heat. Without ice, the sea and air will be warmer and lead to Siberian and Greenland glacier thaws. This ice thaw results in methane release into the atmosphere. CO2 and methane are greenhouse gases. Methane is 23 times as potent as CO2 but persists for 7 to 8 years, while CO2 lasts for 1,000 years. The main greenhouse gases which occur naturally are water vapor and ozone. Other greenhouse gases which are elevated due to man include freon, refrigerant, methane, nitrogen oxide, and carbon dioxide.
Let us look at the picture of the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is the process by which radiation from the planet's atmosphere warms the planet's surface to a temperature above what it would be without the atmosphere. Some of the sunlight that hits the Earth is reflected as heat. The greenhouse gases of CO2 and methane in the atmosphere traps heat, keeping the Earth warm. Greenhouse gases are increased in the atmosphere by activities such as burning of fossil fuels and deforestation. The greenhouse effect. Some sunlight that hits the Earth is reflected, some becomes heat. CO2 and other gases in the atmosphere traps heat, keeping the Earth warm. That was the greenhouse effect.
Author identifies that development of coastal areas at risk is not wise due to rising sea levels and further destruction of trees which hold CO2 greenhouse gas doesn't add up. Law and transparency must be upheld when looking at these development projects and their impact on the environment. Other cited examples are the Chaguaramas Hotel at the Tracking Station Reserve, the 20 illegal leases at Chaguaramas, and the extension of the South Highway. There must be respect for science and nature. We have presented the article and explained its reference to geography through the use of maps, aerial photos, satellite photos, diagrams, and map projection models. We have introduced topics such as greenhouse effects and sea level rise. Let's see what you recall. Let's do a quiz. What does the abbreviation IPCC mean? What did IPCC predict what would happen to the sea level at the end of the century? How much does the sea level need to rise to submerge no man's land? What is the greenhouse effects? What years have been the hottest temperature? What are the effects of the loss of summer ice sheets? 7. Which is more potent, methane or CO2? 8. Which reflects more solar radiation, ice or water?